to the garden. Today I'm going to be composting dried leaves directly in the garden. This time of year we just get mountains of leaves in the garden. And usually they just get raked on through and get thrown in the woods. But this year I'm going to pile them up in the containers to top them off and to add a whole bunch of organic matter. So I've started just by digging all the way to the bottom. I've moved all the soil into the other containers just for now. The easiest way to mix these in is if they're already shredded. So you can do this with a lawnmower or just do it by hand, and then we'll want to fluff them into the remaining soil. This mixture of leaves and soil is going to help them break down a little bit quicker. It's going to keep them really nice and moist, which will encourage worms and all sorts of little critters to break them down, as well as those bacteria. For this experiment, I'm going to avoid sticks. These just take a little bit too long to break down. But it really doesn't matter what kind of leaves you've got. This is just a mix of everything from the lawn and the garden and the driveway. We've got oak leaves and maple leaves, basswood, all sorts of stuff. We really want to mix them in well too. I don't want any dry pockets of just bare leaves. The shredded leaves will actually break down a little bit faster and mix in a lot easier. So if you can, break them down as fine as you want. And then we're just going to layer in the old soil. Now before this is full, I'm going to add some potting soil from a container of flowers. This is done for the season, and all of this material is just really light and fluffy organic material. It has perlite already mixed in, that's those little white specks. That'll improve the drainage, but it also retains moisture too in times of drought. We're just going to shake it off of those roots, and then all these roots and stems are just going to go in the compost pile. But I really like to reuse that potting soil. All we want to do is mix it in. I don't want to have it as just a layer on the top. We're going to fluff it in with those leaves, just mix everything together. And this is what our finished mix looks like. Lots of leaves, but they're filled with soil. Every little gap is packed in with soil. And I'm filling them just about to the brim, because they do settle over time. And as they do, we'll just pile on a whole bunch of leaves to insulate for winter. This is just going to keep them out of the harshest, coldest winds. And that's good for any worms living in the soil and the beneficial bacteria that also inhabit the soil. If you can get these leaves a couple inches thick, that'll really insulate your plants. Under this mound of leaves is my flower pot experiment. So once we use up all these leaves, I'll be able to show you what they look like after about a year. Let's get in here and see what we've got. I can still see a few leaves here and there, but most of it just looks like my compost, like my finished compost. It's full of little bits of worm castings and all this rich black organic material. That's called humus, and it's just composted organic matter. Look at that, a little happy worm there. And we can see a few leaves that have yet to decompose. But look at this material, it's just beautiful. And this was just dried leaves. When it's mixed with soil and compost, it's going to break down a lot faster and really be nice and rich and well balanced at the end. So this time of year, when you've got a whole bunch of extra dried leaves, just incorporate them into your garden and insulate your containers. So I hope you give this a go in your garden. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.